You've had a beer before, or maybe you haven't. Either way, you've definitely seen one. 1 beer, totally fine. Whisk is a responsible adult. 2 beers, still okay. Whisk is social. 3 beers. Whisk has opinions about things he knows nothing about. 4 beers. Whisk loves everyone in this room. 5 beers. Whisk has transcended. Now, what if I told you that this drink, this ancient, beautiful, catastrophically simple drink, is older than writing, older than the wheel, possibly older than bread itself? Beer didn't just survive history. Beer made history. We need to go back, way back, before countries, before cities, before your annoying neighbors who play music too loud at 11 p.m. We're talking 10,000 BC, the Fertile Crescent, modern-day Iraq, Syria, Turkey. Humans at this point are hunter-gatherers, which is a fancy way of saying they spend every single day just trying to not die. They've recently discovered something remarkable though: grain. Specifically, that if you plant grain in the ground, more grain comes out of the ground. Revolutionary. But one day, somewhere, someone stores their grain in a clay pot. It rains, water gets in, the grain gets wet. Time passes. Wild yeast from the air finds the wet grain, and something starts to happen. The yeast eats the sugars in the grain, produces alcohol and carbon dioxide as byproducts. Our ancestor looks at this mysterious bubbling liquid and does what any reasonable prehistoric human would do. Drink it and feels amazing. Beer had been invented, completely by accident, and nobody was ever the same again. Fast forward a few thousand years to ancient Sumer, the world's first real civilization. Cities, trade, government, laws, and beer. Lots and lots of beer. The Sumerians loved beer so much they made it currency. Workers building temples and monuments weren't paid in gold. They weren't paid in land. They were paid in beer, roughly 1 liter per day as part of their wages. Honestly, competitive benefits package. The Sumerians even wrote a poem about beer, the hymn to Ninkasi, the goddess of brewing. It's one of the oldest written recipes in human history. So let's get this straight. Humans invented writing, and one of the first things they wrote down was a beer recipe. Priorities, unchanged for 6,000 years. Jump to medieval Europe. And here's where beer stops being just fun and becomes genuinely heroic. Because in medieval Europe, water was trying to kill you. Rivers and wells were contaminated with bacteria, sewage, and things we won't describe in detail because this is a history channel and we have standards. Drinking water in the Middle Ages was basically a gamble with your life. But beer? The brewing process, boiling the water, fermenting it, killed most of the harmful bacteria. Beer was safer than water. So medieval Europeans drank beer for breakfast, beer with lunch, beer with dinner. Children drank beer. Monks drank beer. Monks drank an incredible amount of beer. In fact, during Lent, the 40-day Christian fasting period where monks weren't supposed to eat solid food, the monks of Bavaria decided that liquids didn't count as food. So they brewed an extremely strong, extremely thick beer called Doppelbock and fasted on it for 40 days. God was apparently fine with this because nothing bad happened to them. 1620. The Mayflower. 102 pilgrims crossing the Atlantic to start a new life in America. They had planned to land in Virginia. They did not land in Virginia, they landed in Massachusetts, much further north, much colder, much less prepared for. Why? They ran out of beer. The ship's log literally records that they were forced to land early because, and this is a real quote, they could not take time for further search, our victuals being much spent, especially our beer. America was founded, in part, because the pilgrims ran out of beer and panicked. You're welcome, America. 1920. America decides to do something bold, something brave, something breathtakingly stupid. They banned alcohol, all of it, nationwide, effective immediately. The idea was that without alcohol, America would become more productive, more moral, more civilized. What actually happened was, organized crime exploded overnight. Criminals like Al Capone became multimillionaires supplying illegal alcohol. Government lost billions in tax revenue. Corruption spread through police forces across the country. And Americans drank exactly the same amount as before, just illegally. Prohibition lasted 13 years before America quietly admitted it had made a catastrophic error and repealed it in 1933. The lesson? Don't mess with beer. So there you have it. Beer? 10,000 years old, invented by accident, used as currency, more hygienic than water, responsible for American geography, and the centerpiece of one of history's greatest policy disasters. Next time you crack one open, remember, you're participating in humanity's oldest tradition, which honestly explains a lot about humanity. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe. I'll see you next time.